Hi, my name is Geeta Sidhu-Robb and I run a health and wellness business based in London called Nosh Detox. And we put out a lot of videos talking about, generally speaking, natural ways to improve your health. And part of improving your health is the focus of today's video, which is on sleep. Sleep is extremely important for you to maintain a good level of both physical and mental health. Now, I think that we know this, but we don't know it, because if we did, we would probably sleep more and make sure that we slept better and woke up more rested. Sleep impacts your physical health, it impacts your emotional well-being, and it impacts your mental sharpness. Research has shown that poor sleep patterns can lead to depression, anxiety, obesity, and also metabolic conditions like type 2 diabetes. And it can just make you fat not having enough sleep. The quality of your sleep patterns are as important as the amount of sleep that you get. You need to get at least 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep every single night. Otherwise, you're not getting the right quality of sleep. Poor sleep really affects your cortisol levels. And as we know, having really high cortisol levels leads to an enormous amount of acidity in the body and impacts everything else, like your skin, your gut health, everything else across it. So what I want to talk to you now about is that there are 5 particular phases of sleep, each one of which is really important for you to go through the whole process and to wake up rested. And we don't always know this, so when we're not sleeping in these phases is often the reason we're waking up unrested. There are 5 particular phases of sleep, and these can be broken down in the following way. Phase 1. This is the bit where you first go to sleep, and it's known as light sleep. It involves the eye and muscle functions really starting to slow down. This is that sensation that you get where you feel like you're floating. I love that bit of it. That's when you have a nap in the afternoon as well. Phase 2, this is the stage where your eyes stop moving and your brain function starts to really slow down. Phase 3. This is the first part of deep sleep. This is where your brain now starts to make delta waves, and it can be difficult to wake someone up during this phase. This is where you're pushing and actually they're not waking up. This is important because human growth hormone is secreted during this phase. Phase 4 is the second part of the deep phase. This is the dream part of the sleep cycle. And this is when the brain begins to create slower delta waves. This is so important because this is the bit that gets you waking up revitalized and refreshed. This is why dreaming is so important. Phase 5 is something that people know a lot about. It's the rapid eye movement phase of sleep, otherwise known as REM sleep, REM sleep. And this phase needs to make up at least 25% of the total amount of your quality sleep. If your REM sleep's interrupted, then your sleep cycle goes out of sync. And actually, the last night's sleep begins in this phase. This happens because you're trying to get your body to catch up on the previous night's REM sleep. So you can see how it never quite balances out. So if you're trying to work out how to get more sleep and get better sleep, you need to try to go to bed earlier and also with a clearer mind. And I realize that it's hard sometimes to give up what we're doing in the day to actually not take that to bed with us. One of the ways to do that is to take a journal to bed with you and write down the things that you have been thinking about and worrying about for today and what you have to remember for tomorrow. There's almost a bit where you kind of empty your brain, and it gives you the ability to chill and relax and get much calmer about sleeping. Also, the other thing that we've all heard so many times, take your television out of your bed and actually read a book. And unfortunately, read it on paper, because the blue light that comes out of, and I'm a big fan of my Kindle, but the blue light that comes from electronics and from the TV is actually programmed to go straight through your eyes and keep you really awake. So that is a problem when you're actually trying to sleep, because so many of us go to sleep actually through watching the TV. And the last thing to say on that is that absolutely do not sleep with your mobile phone under your pillow, because it's an electromagnetic product. It's giving off waves. These waves are constantly moving. Apps are regenerating, the electronics are talking to each other, and this will absolutely have a negative impact on your ability to sleep, your ability to stay asleep, and for you to go through all the phases of sleep. That's why we say stop electronics half an hour before you're going to sleep and put them as far away from your bed as you possibly can. I realize it's difficult, but actually try for a while and start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and build yourself up to the half an hour. I hope that's been really helpful. Please write me a comment and tell me what is your favorite way to wind down and to get a good night's sleep. And please please subscribe, and please share for people that are having struggles with sleeping well, and just so that they can understand actually how it works, because I think it makes such a big difference for you to understand that there is a process to sleep and that we wake up rested for a reason.